You're watching the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stand.
Salah to settle it in front of the Kop.
Yes, hello and welcome back to the Kop TV Hot Kopics episode 45. We're here. Take two. As I said in the first try, it's been difficult for me to not be in Liverpool the past weekend, especially after we've beaten City. So I feel like I need to re-celebrate with you. Get
We are now winners again. We're winners. We are winners.
It's been
it's a beautiful thing to be a winner.
Alex, you missed probably one of the best games ever in Anfield.
That was insane. I was in the heart of the Kop ends, and it was one of the great, not in recent times, the greatest experience that I've had. Before we get into it proper, because this is a 10-2, we've got to remember to shout out the main boys.
There we go.
The main boys. We're coming in like triplets today. But we're all comfy, and that's the most important thing.
We've all got our own style on it, you know what I mean? He's got the chain, you got the jacket.
For sure.
I'm just going with that. You got the Diaz t-shirt, which he designed. But if you want to join in the Flux crew, then make sure you do. With the Kop TV 15% discount, they're also in Luca Fashion Menswear, which is on Renshaw Street. We were in the shop last week. Everything's looking beautiful in there.
Got its own rail and everything.
It's got its own rail, and it's alongside the Missonis, the Givenchy's. So it's in a good place, trust me.
Yeah, the real gear.
The real stuff. Yes, thank you for everyone in the comments letting us know that we are working now.
Yes,
the
thank you
audio's
guys.
There.
Putting up with us.
Brilliant stuff. Right, let's get into it then. Last week it was a little bit of a different mood within the camp, the Kop TV camp. We were fretting really over this Man City game. We were all stressed about it, and in the end, it's actually worked out for us, and we've beaten Man City. Not only did we humble City, but we've also humbled Pep again at Anfield. He couldn't take it.
He can never take
Never,
it.
he
That
can't
video
take it.
we like.
Where he's going.
And he's going, come on, man. Like, I don't know what it is. He bubbles over so much.
He got
Only when
Push
he
in my
plays us.
face when I saw that.
He got rattled.
Why do you think Pep... I mean, do you think that he would love to have that at his stadium?
Yeah,
Is he
I think
jealous?
it's all jealousy.
He is jealous, of course.
Why
It's
is he
jealous.
jealous?
It's
I don't think he's
jealousy of
jealous.
our atmosphere.
He's got money, but he doesn't care for supporters and love.
Yeah.
He does have love. It's just on a much smaller scale. I don't think that's what it is. I think
He's got love.
I think everyone now looks to try and rattle Anfield. So it's worked before in many different occasions. It worked when we drew against Crystal Palace. I think it is quite if I was a player, I would like to think I would feed into that energy, like, we are all user calling me knobheads in the crowds. Well, watch what I do here. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's a good response for certain types of players.
Like
I think
Suarez loved to get booed, didn't
there
he?
we go. Like
'Cause
that.
then he can
That's
shut him up.
that's a
Get motivation for that.
A-star example. Luis Suarez is that type of player. A-star. But this game, I think it was filled with everything. It got good football, intriguing tactical battle. On top of that, the managers were showing so much emotion. The players were getting stuck in. Just a proper like I never consider this like a derby. I consider it a big game. And I loved it, and without Pep Guardiola losing his rag and getting the fans to rile up and that, it made the atmosphere all the more glorious. It made the atmosphere, the occasion all the more memorable, and that's because of Pep fuming. It's because of Bernardo Silva, getting that angry little person syndrome where he's bouncing around trying to push Virgil van Dijk like he's Billy, he's lardy-tardy big balls. And then you've got Mohamed Salah, who just got absolutely dragged to the floor.
How is that not a foul?
And then you have many bad refereeing decisions. It was just... And I wouldn't say Pep's jealous of us, but I just think he got rattled by what we caused him. Don't know if anyone agrees there. I think he got rattled massively by the pressure that we put him and his team under, because I don't think they were expecting that. They know Anfield can be boss, and they know Anfield can be lit, but after the form we've been in, I bet,
It's lit, you know.
It's lit. Come on, you're telling me that atmosphere weren't lit.
Litty committee.
It's lit.
Mario, this the couch.
Litty committee, man.
Litty committee, bro.
What's lit?
Little have a
What's
clue.
lit?
I'm just
What is this like?
Mario, these are the people who never went to games, so they won't know how lit the atmosphere was. Would you agree?
No, but it's
been in
just
the
you
console.
saying the word
Atmosphere
lit.
on Sunday, what was it like?
You should.
the atmosphere on Sunday was probably the best after Barcelona.
Yeah. Really up
Seriously,
there, yeah?
probably one of the best I ever been at Anfield.
That's one of the best I've ever been to.
One of the best. I won't say the best, because I remember against City 2018, same in the Champions League game. That was best ever for me. In the quarters in the Champions League. But last day it was something unbelievable, really. And especially when they score and then The goal was
It got cancelled, yeah.
It got cancelled. We start to when Pep Guardiola some stuff like that, and we start really to support, and the game was really incredible. But we played brilliantly. In my point of view, we played from the first minute. We played with the right mentality, and our approaching was perfect because the only one way to stop City is that way.
Yeah.
Just block De Bruyne and Holland, and it's done. I mean,
Hey, can I just obviously Virg had a boss game,
Oh.
but Gomez
Joe Gomez.
absolutely had Haaland in his pocket, mate.
He is
Do
an
you know what?
unbelievable
He
player.
has received some criticism for his
Gomez?
performances this season.
and he deserved
Looking at you.
it. He deserved it.
And
rightly so.
Therefore.
Listen,
Yeah.
we're
And
not
actually,
we're not too bad to admit that we sometimes criticise the player then, but they show us a performance like that, we can always give them the same level of praise
Support
and
and
support.
same
energy.
Man of the match for me, Joe Gomez.
Same energy. I agree.
He won it,
And
didn't he?
the one thing I'll say about Joe
Yeah.
Gomez and what I've always stood on is that in recent years, and I'm sure everyone would agree collectively on this show and who's watching the show at the moment, Joe Gomez is his best performances for me have came at right back over recent years. However, and his worst performances has came at centre back. So when I see the starting lineup of Milner at right back and Joe Gomez at right centre back, I'm thinking, oh, this could be moody.
I think Gomez plays good at centre back.
In recent times, Joe Gomez had the season where we won the league and he was
Yeah.
unbelievable. But in recent times, Aston Villa 7-2 springs to mind where he was very poor. Then he got the injury. And then there was the Napoli 4-1 as well, which,
Yeah.
again, a lot of those goals were down to him. Same with the Aston Villa
Worst
game.
performance ever
All I'm
against
saying
Napoli.
is that the
Bloody
worst
his
centre-back
face.
performances from an individual have came from Joe Gomez. But that was one of the best, if not maybe the best ever performance I've seen from Joe Gomez.
He was
That was
brilliant.
insane.
I agree.
He was
James
brilliant.
Neymar, by the way.
Wow.
Come
Big
on.
shout out to Milner
Come
as
on.
well, bro.
This is-
37.
37
keeping
years old.
Foden
In
his pocket.
In his
Come
pocket
on.
as well.
I mean, you're right. There was a lot of people, and let us know in the comments what you thought when you saw that lineup come out, when you saw Milner and Gomez,
shit
etc.
myself.
I actually think
Me too.
tactically, I mean, we
Come
all
on,
have
just
these
finish
thoughts
wiping my
before
ass
the
now.
game, but after the game, when we look back at the decisions made tactically, Klopp got it absolutely spot on.
Yeah, 100%.
Like to the level where he almost guessed what Pep
confused
was
them
going
as
to
well.
do and then had a plan for that. So for instance, like
Yeah.
we were all saying last week, right, oh, we can't play 4-2-4 because we're going to get smoked. So you bring Harvey back in. No one expected Harvey to start that game.
Yeah.
Again, an unbelievable game. And he gave us that extra bit of legs
It was
in
a
midfield.
very, very
that
good
we-
game for him to
Yeah.
like show himself at such a
'Cause you
obviously
remember
it's
last
high
year, Curtis
intensity and
Jones
stuff.
played in that game.
Yeah. I remember
Jones played
that.
last season.
Good to see him on the
Against
bench
City.
as well,
Yeah,
by the
yeah,
way. I'm
good
looking
to see
forward to
him
seeing
back.
Curtis getting a few
But
minutes.
big up
Oh,
to
do you know
Harvey,
how
Milner,
gutted I was
etc.
when fucking Nunes fizzed the ball across too fast for Trent? Do you know how sick that would have been?
That would have been a mad
That
goal.
would have been mad.
Because Nunes run down the whole wing. I mean, listen, he should have scored at least 2, if I'm being
least.
honest.
Yeah, and he should have had at least 2 assists.
He was
but-
getting Nunes, as he came on, had that shot that went wide. We were going, oh, go on. And then he was in and didn't play the ball across.
Yeah.
Perfect the way Klopp
But-
brought him on as well.
Well, you've
instead of
got it-
starting him.
Yeah.
Who?
Nunes.
Again,
Nunes,
that's great
yeah.
management, though.
But what have I been saying for weeks and I've been getting shit for it? I'm saying the
Yeah.
best you get out of Nunes right now
Off
is
the
off the
bench.
bench.
Yeah,
Like,
you have been
and it's
saying
not a
that.
bad thing to do that. We've still
No,
got
no,
3
of
very
course.
world-class forwards. It's not a bad thing to do that. It's not a bad thing to want to start Harvey Elliott, who settled into the team very well. For a player who's settling in, I've been saying it, get him off the bench. Don't not use him. But Nunes was... And I said about Nunes what actually ended up letting him down against City. It went from having a 7 out of 10 performance to what could have been a 9 out of 10. It was the end product, which I've been talking about, the
Yeah.
finishing, the final
How
pass.
long was he on for? About
He was on for
25?
about 20, half an hour.
65.
He had a big presence.
No,
I think he was
for
on
that
about 20
time,
minutes.
though, I
20
think.
minutes.
He had a very
Probably
big
22
presence.
minutes plus stoppage time, which was 6 minutes, so about 25 minutes in total of football. Good, like a different threat, essentially. But
Yeah.
again, that end product to where that's not who you should probably be starting your games of football. And I thought
100%.
Salah down the middle was so much more better. I thought Harvey Elliott done everything he needed to do. Bobby Firmino, by the way. I'm so sorry, guys. I don't know if I overrated his performance, but I just thought he was linking everything together. All the spaces that Salah was finding. I thought he was the one, creating
love
that
Bobby
space.
so much,
Bobby in the midfield dominated Manchester City.
Mario's trying to get him in the bin.
At the moment, you can leave Firmino on the bench.
You can't.
You can't at the
Okay.
moment. Firmino is on fire, man. He scored 9 goals, 4 assists.
You were terrorising him the other day.
No, I wanted to give him a motivation to do better.
Did you tell him to
I
watch
never
it?
disrespect the players. Sometimes I have a criticism about Firmino from the last 2 seasons. He was, for me, in my point of view, he
James,
had a very bad
you
season.
were on it with me, and
But
he
at
was
the
saying
He was chatting shit
sell
about
them.
Firmino.
No,
Ruby.
that's
You
true.
said
He's
sell
that's
them.
You said sell him. He said don't give him a new contract extension.
it's
'cause
like
but
it's-
you like Nunes.
My way is like, I wanted to give him like, you have to do always your best. So this season, Firmino is doing big things.
Do you
He's
think-
scoring goals. He's giving assists. He plays good. So
Do you think that's because obviously when we were saying Mane and Salah were competing for the same positions sometimes, and then obviously Jota came in? Do you think that's now we've got Nunes? Bobby thinks that he has to obviously perform better and to a higher standard.
exactly that's a competition between them, between Darwin and
So it's bringing
and
a better
Firmino.
side out of Bobby.
And I think, don't call me a bit dodgy, but I think my opinion is a bit like bad. I mean,
It's a bit bad.
Firmino, he's giving his best at the moment.
Yeah.
I think only for one reason. He wants
To
to,
get a
play
new
in the World
contract.
Cup. He wants to play for Brazil. He want to show to the Brazilian manager, Brazilian the trainer that he want to play in the World Cup because he's fighting for the place with probably with Richarlison and Gabriel
Richarlison.
Jesus.
I think Richarlison might be injured now for.
Yeah, he
So,
came off with his calf.
Probably
innit?
it's not
Crying,
like
wasn't
that,
he?
but I think he's doing because the last 2 seasons, of course, it wasn't the real Firmino. But the moment he's probably the Liverpool most playing.
How many
for.
goals do you think Firmino gets in all comps this
That's
year?
a brilliant question because I think he can break 20.
He's
already-
I
he's
had
already
20 in
9.
my head. He's on 9 now.
He's 9, yeah, he can do.
I've
I
got
think
20
he
in
can
my
break
head
20.
in all comps, which would be. I mean, how many did Mane get in all comps last year?
20,
I don't know, none of
23?
this.
23, something like that. Yeah,
So
and he
if
has a
Firmino
bit of a
can
slow
replace
start.
those goals,
He can.
then 1, does he get a new contract? And
Yep.
2, for how long?
Yeah, he gets a new contract. I'm happy for it to be a two-year contract.
Give him 2
something
years,
like
come
that.
on.
2 years?
2 years is sad.
Because
Because
if it's 2 years, I think that makes it 9 years at Liverpool.
whatever
So-
squad has Firmino is a
9 years.
considerably better squad to have Firmino than not have him.
I agree.
He is world class. His all-round game's brilliant. He opens spaces for the likes of Salah and Nunes, which is their game. They need space to score goals, and he is the man to provide that for them. And then if they're not getting the space, then Firmino will get the space. And what he's been doing recently is converting those chances into goals. He is unbelievable. Like I'm surprised it was even a question that Nunes should come right in above him or Jota, because Jota as well. Brilliant game
Big
of
injury
football.
though, man.
Big injury.
Forget about the injury for a second, because going forward, that's concern. It shouldn't take away from the performance he had. Like
Everyone put a shift in, bro.
He was unreal.
No, he had a
like
boss
no,
game.
but Jota was just so threatening. He was always constantly
as
getting
well,
into
you know,
their faces.
for a
like
wee man.
he should have scored a goal for sure.
Yeah.
But
He
Headshot.
deserved one, if anything.
but Salah missed that big chance as well. That Firmino put on an absolute play for him. The first chance that he Ederson made a great save.
I don't think that's a miss. That is an unbelievable world class.
No, he
save.
should have done better.
By
When
the
you're in
way,
a one-on-one
he should have done
situation,
better.
you should
Can I
have.
just
Because
say-
it's not like he just got the one-on-one chance late. He had time to think
Yeah.
about it. Like he
He did
defo should have done way
get a tip
better.
to it though.
No, but what I'm saying is because he had more time, the placement should have been better.
Yeah.
Get it away from the goalkeeper because he never done it in that case.
Like chip it or something.
So,
Yeah.
like, you know, a lot of Man City fans are talking about that the goal should have stood for them. And here's
Do they have fans?
3 reasons. No, they don't.
I
Here's
didn't
3
know that.
reasons why it doesn't stand. The first one,
Foul.
that save from Ederson should have been a corner. It was given
Yeah.
as a goal kick. From that goal kick, Haaland fouls Fabinho and then kicks it out of
And then
Alisson's
Alisson
hand
got
when he's
fouled.
got 2 hands on it. So that's 3 things why it shouldn't happen.
Well-
and there's still, like, I was at DR yesterday and there's people telling me, no, it wasn't a foul. The game's gone. If you're letting fouls like that be whistled up and cancel goals, the game's gone. I was like, hang on, it was a foul. And people are saying, refs are letting the game flow a bit more. They're letting more aggression come back into the game. That's cool. But if it is a foul, like, you got to give it as a foul.
I agree with you. So to play a little bit as devil's advocate, most City's fans' argument is that the referees were very much just letting things go, and it was that type of game, and that seemed to be the premise that they set. But the thing is, it's an unofficial premise. So just because they've made a few decisions before where they let things go doesn't mean that's the way they have to do it
Yeah.
all game. The final premise is there was 3 things that led towards that goal that should have been given the other way. So the end result is that should have been a disallowed goal. So whether
Shouldn't
I
have even
agree,
got to that stage.
whether I agree or
Exactly.
disagree, it was a foul on Fabinho, or if they were a little bit tussling and whatnot, I thought it was soft. I thought it was a foul based on the
foul.
premise that has been set in today's game. But like you said, Alisson got fouled. The goal kick shouldn't have stood. So in the end, what happened and what ended up being given was actually kind of good. And because if it weren't given, it was just going to be us complaining. So there was always going to be someone upset. And I genuinely believe the majority of City fans are just trying to find an excuse of why they lost that game. This weren't Liverpool Arsenal, where there was multiple things that went against us and whatnot. Like, that was a clear and obvious decision to not give the goal, because that would have been a poor representation on VAR, and it's a much more worse representation on VAR giving that goal than not giving it.
I agree.
So that's why I think City fans, like them, and it's not all of them, it's just the ones who are just aren't admitting they were just a slightly worse team on the day. Because that's all it was. It was a close competitive game, but those decisions, it's a shame that that's even a thing, because it's like people are trying to dint Liverpool's win. Every Liverpool fan who's watching this right now, embrace the win as much as you can.
It's clean sheet.
The best win that you could have got.
I don't know how it's possible even discuss that foul. It was a clear foul even live.
Yeah,
as soon as you do that on someone's shirt, that's a yellow
throughout
card.
the game, I thought this is the way I thought of it. It was 12 versus 12. It weren't 11. It was us and the fans versus Man City and the ref. That's the way it felt to me throughout the whole entire game. And the fans were always going to be superior in that situation, because I think the referee making those bad decisions actually leans into our favour, because it was just riling us up even more.
Yeah, 100%.
So it put
You
City
start
under more pressure.
screaming even more when you're at the game.
We were fuming, mate. Like, some of the things
What
that
were
were
we
being
like
chanted
when we went
in the
to-
Kop end.
Who was it?
United?
Maybe. Or one of the Spanish teams, Villarreal.
Villarreal.
Yeah. Ref was awful that game.
We were
actually.
screaming. I had no
Villarreal.
voice.
I mean, Klopp gets sent off, right? And we don't know what the
That was
ban is, whether
bullshit,
it's one
like,
game,
come
fine.
on.
But
Oh,
the
so we
reason
won't be
why,
on the game tomorrow, innit?
Nah,
I don't
he's
think
not
he
on
will.
the sideline.
reason why he got that upset, one, Anthony Taylor is literally from Manchester, so I don't think referees from Manchester should referee games with Man City.
I agree.
If
Yeah,
I'm honest.
100%.
But
It was the same VAR fella as well.
Bro, it
for
was.
Arsenal.
He had two hands on his neck trying to just drag him on the floor. And Salah doesn't really get angry. We've never seen Salah like scrap.
Yeah, you've
but
never
he was
seen
going
Salah like
mad.
that.
And then he went mad. Klopp was chasing your man up the touchline, shouting in his face.
I
would have done the same thing,
That was
bro.
the most blatant foul
I
throughout
didn't,
the whole
I
game.
didn't
the
see
same
Klopp
thing.
doing that though, so
Never.
I was out
He was
watching the
running
match and I
up
was
to
like, what? I was stood up, kicking off, going, how's that a red card? Obviously he's going to be angry, he hasn't done nothing. Then it showed the replay of him running alongside the linesman and I was like, oh.
And then Taylor stops the game. And Klopp's going, go on then, give me the
Yeah.
red, give me the red. Come on,
He was like, no, go on. Nah, but it was funny though, because
Come on, rat, give it
my
to me.
eyesight's
Good
my
lads.
eyesight's wank, lads. And even from there, I was like, that is a blatant
But
foul.
this is rugby. We're not talking about football here.
It's
Bernardo
it's
Silva,
different
first of all,
sport.
you're a rat, and you never clapped us in our guard of honour. He held 2 cups
Oh,
of
who
coffee
cares?
instead. He's a rat.
If
and I hate
Bernardo
him.
was my player, I'd like
No,
him.
I hate him.
Ah, come
I
on,
respect
man.
him.
The
I
most
thought-
hated player in the
I hate
Premier
him.
League.
Shut up, bro.
Used to were
Trust
just
me.
salty.
He's a
Let us know
good-
in the
he's a good
comments, man.
player.
He's a brilliant player.
He's a good
Rat.
player, but as a man, he's a.
But if it was my team, I'd love him. I'd
So
fucking
rat,
love
lads,
him. He was
come
the
on.
only
Everyone
one. He was
sending
the only
rat
one.
emojis in the comments.
I
He was,
know.
he was the only one in the City team who was
Respect it.
fighting all game. He was getting aggressive. He was
His
getting stuck
attitude,
in.
no.
And he shouldn't like Liverpool. He shouldn't like us whatsoever. And if he looks at that at us and not clap the honour or whatever the fuck it was, good on him, because he went and won the next 2 Premier Leagues anyway.
It's
No, it's
disrespect.
disrespect.
No,
It's
it's disrespect,
Don't
but
tell
it's
me-
also the bullshit. Like, sort of, like, you just need to have that element of ruthlessness about you. And whether you construed it for disrespect, it's resulted in success for him. So as far as I'm concerned, I would not mind that type of player for me.
Let's get a few comments up. I can see Dan Pop there saying it's legit a judo roll, which it was. If I'm honest, it was close to a rugby tackle. Remember, if you want your comment to be read out 100%, do send in a super chat if you can. We're going to get through as many as we can. Klopp Talk TV with the rat emoji. We love that as well. Ant Dicko there saying apparently pre-match Anthony Taylor said to Klopp and Guardiola, I'm going to let the game go. What is this? He's literally there just referee the game.
No, but guys, there's still a premise that needs to be set. So I don't know if you're trying to say that the referee should have just let the game go and whatnot, but there's still a premise of where VAR, especially if it goes towards a goal, a key thing in the game, sometimes you've got to reassess the approach you were going to have before the game. That was a
it's
foul.
like tallies a lot of the time, isn't it? So
Exactly.
if he lets one little thing go, he's going to let something else
Yeah.
go. But when it's something like that, where it's 3 things
Yep.
in a row,
Yep.
Totally
you can't
right.
do that. Do
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
like, even forget the Fabinho thing. Alisson literally got fouled. Come on, like,
Alisson
it weren't a
basically
goal.
got booted in the
That's
head.
fun, yeah.
That was
Alisson-
goal.
Alisson's
That's why I
got no hands left.
Let's talk about Alisson. There's a comment here as well. Alisson
Bernardo
2
was quality,
assists
but also a
compared to
bellend.
1 assist for Grealish.
Against
Let's talk
both
about
Manchester
the fact that
clubs.
since Alisson has joined Liverpool, he has contributed 4 assists and 1 goal
And a goal.
assists?
to
4 assists?
Liverpool across the whole. Yeah, he's got 4 assists and 1 goal, which is
I love the way
Which is a Premier League record,
he's
by
got
the
the
way.
same assist though with City and United.
Yeah.
He's got assist
over the
against
top.
United.
Norwich.
Last season against Norwich, Salah, and now 3 assists, I think.
Maybe 3 assists and 1
3
goal.
assists and
Still,
1
it's
goal.
the best we've ever seen from any
Yeah.
keeper in the Premier League.
I
Thank you
posted
very much.
I posted
Definitely.
that picture of Fat Halland and Fat Foden.
That was funny,
unbelievable,
that.
bro.
That was
I'm missing
funny,
myself
that.
Instagram
for
yesterday. No caption felt right. And
no caption felt
someone in
right.
the comments said Phil Foden and Haaland are still better than your whole club. And I just put Alisson - Salah over them two. Because,
bro.
lads, that partnership right there between Salah and... Like, yeah, I don't know if you saw it. It makes a lot of sense, obviously, but the second Alisson gets the ball,
Salah's got his arm
Salah
up.
is halfway between the halfway line and our box, like
Yeah.
where we... And instantly...
Go.
He just goes bam, and then sorry, I just moved the couch. What impressed me most, was when he just fucking touches the ball down and the way he turns his man. I just thought, you are
Boof.
an unbelievable
Cancelo.
Physically,
footballer.
he's
But
very
yeah,
strong,
that
mate.
was just a moment of brilliance from an individual. Watch if that was Trent Alexander-Arnold who's done that.
Yeah.
He would get so much shit. He wouldn't get the credit, the benefit of the doubt of, the player just done well in that moment. He would be like, oh, Trent, look how shit he is. Cancelo just done the same thing because Salah just done him. He got the better of him in that occasion. And that's why I know there's an agenda against Trent, because I haven't saw one individual thing about Cancelo.
Bro, trust me. Everyone talks about how good he is. Defensively, he's not up to it. If I'm
he's
being
not.
honest, he's not a defender.
But you need him in the
really.
team because
You
he's
need
so
him in the
good.
team,
He's so
but it's
good
like
at many
Trent.
other things.
It's the same, I think, as he's our Trent. He
Yeah.
gets goals, he gets assists, and everyone goes, wow, what a right back.
Yeah.
But when
And
it
he's a
comes,
decent
when
defender,
it comes
but
to
he's not
being the
world
last
class.
man against Salah, where were you?
Exactly. But
Let us
the
know
people,
in the comments.
He got
Where is he?
bodied, man. He got bodied.
That was a proper mistake from Cancelo.
He got bodied by Salah. Salah's a tank.
Bodied him, bro. Bosh.
He's-
And he
He's
touched it down nicely as
Physically,
well.
he's a beast, Salah.
Like
Yeah.
Salah, I don't think you can put into perspective that these big, massive centre backs and that are getting held off
By Salah.
and he's
5'8",
flipping
bro.
tiny. He's my height. For
He's
a
a
man
chesty
that's
little
small.
kid, though. He's a chesty
but
little
Salah's
kid.
strong.
No offense, you two.
He's strong.
Not me, but Cancelo, he can't defend. Liverpool are
Jacob Little
back, bro,
Gill.
says Drunk Vigo.
No. But I'm sorry. Like, he can defend. He can. I'm sick of this. Like, we can't defend because he made a mistake. If he can't defend, then Trent can't defend. They're both decent defenders, lads.
Yeah.
Don't be calling them shit. Don't be making them worse than what they have to be. There's a reason why Danny Alves and fucking Cafu will come out and say Trent is unbelievable, because they know how good he is as a right back. Because as a right back, it's not just to defend of any, and
Do you remember
arguably
when Cafu
nowadays.
came out and said how good John Flanagan was, though?
For one season. One
Yeah,
season
but-
wonder.
The Scouse Cafu.
Yeah, but that
And then
season
that
Flanagan
didn't
was
really-
good.
He was
He was very good that
He
season.
Based on what
actually.
you'd seen, it was good, and based on what we've seen from Trent, it's been elevated to a whole nother level to where there's longevity with it. So don't be doing what everyone
I
else
don't
does and
rate
call him
Flanagan.
Cancelo a shit defender, because
obviously
if he
not.
was,
We
he
know
wouldn't be
why,
playing.
but, yeah.
Is
Big
he
up
still
to
playing?
Chegger
No.
goes in the
Flanagan?
comment. He says,
No,
what a
Flanagan.
difference
No one cares about
a day
Flanagan now.
makes. Smiles all round.
No one likes Flanagan.
That's his beard.
You know how we had this mood on us last week, which we are right to have, by the way. Don't you just feel like our season started again now? And
Exactly.
we can... Because
does
like,
feel a
I
bit
watch
different.
your fan cam. You know, I'm like, when James does the fan cams, I turn into the Kop TV fanboy. I'm like, waiting for them to come up, popcorn out. When I saw Mario's one, he was going mad. We are back, bro. We can win the
We
title.
are
We are title
back.
race. Are we... I mean, listen, we all have been responsible for saying things in the moment after a game. But Mario, you said that. Do you believe that Liverpool are back in the title race now?
I absolutely believe. I never stopped to believe that. Of course, after the Arsenal
To be fair,
defeat,
he did never stop believing it. Like,
after
was
the Arsenal
constant.
defeat, I was a bit like,
Look at you as the Debbie
like,
Downer, innit?
the
So,
motivation was
Rightly so.
not very good. But
what do you think we are?
we just showed that the game against Rangers, when we scored 7 goals, and of course it's Champions League, and this massive win against City, we still can compete for the title race. Of course, we are 14 points behind Arsenal, but in my point of view, Arsenal is not the team that can fight for the title. For me, at the moment, probably is the best English team at the moment. 10 games, 9 wins and 1 defeat, which is unbelievable. But it's going to be like this season, we say like 100 times, it's going to be a weird season. So it's like 2 seasons in one. We will see what's going on after the World Cup. And I think we need to, you say something very right, like it's a new season for us now after this City. Mentally, physically, everything. It's a new season. So we need just to keep the fight, man. And now it's finally we see the I wanted to see something different from Salah,
And we saw
and
it.
that exactly
And
that
we got
goal
it.
was something that he left all the criticism, all the the 1v1. Salah this season was like,
Now,
and this is his best part 1v1. But last game he played well. And we saw good things from Fabinho. Virgin Van Dijk, he played probably the
what a
best game.
What
Do you know
a
the best game
conversion.
from
do you know what, Mario?
Virgin?
Before, because rightly so, we should be talking about how good all the players was. The first thing I just want to, the title race. I just want everyone to just calm down just a little bit. That's
Calm
all.
down,
Just
calm
calm down
down.
a smidge.
No,
Just
that's
just
true.
chill.
That's true.
Because you're
That's
setting
true.
Say
yourself
that
up for
again.
disappointments. A smidge.
But we
No,
must to
calm
believe
down.
in
Calm
the,
down.
James, we must to believe for the title, man.
No, we have to support and we have to be there for
Exactly.
them. And then we have to align that support
Exactly.
with expectation, because if you don't align the support with expectation, you get into a toxic environment where people are disappointed and they start to doubt players, and then you'll let go of a player who actually was really good for your team, and it creates a mess.
That went so deep, so quick.
Just make sure that you're careful, because Jota's out injured, Diaz is out injured, Kanate just got injured, Thiago's
What's up
about
with
10
Konate?
minutes away from getting another injury and falling down the stairs. Like, just be careful when you assess our stability at the moment from a squad depth point of view in comparison to City's, because we're not going to go out in January and buy multiple players. At least my prediction, I don't think that's what we're going to do. If you believe differently, let me know, because I don't think there's anything to support that.
Probably we're gonna buy Rice from West Ham for 100 million.
Again, that's all speculation,
It's all speculation,
and
of
there's
course.
no concrete evidence that we're going to go ahead and do that. So I wouldn't bank us on doing that in January. I could imagine us in summer to go out and buy new players, but for this season, City very well could go
feel
out
like
to one of the
pickles
12
and
clubs
piss.
that they own and buy another player. Arsenal right now have very, very sound squad depth, and I think you're comparing Arsenal with what Arsenal have usually been. I don't think Arsenal are going into a stage.
James is being proper miserable.
Chegger in
Someone
the
said.
comment.
No, I'm not being miserable. I'm being dead sad. I'm just telling you all to be very, very careful, because we've got well more injuries than everyone else. City have got better squad depth than us, arguably got a better 11 than us, with the fact that they've constantly improved it while we haven't improved ours. And Arsenal have been developing a starting 11 for years now. It's not just like first or second season. All these players are a year older. They're all considerably better. You've got to take them seriously, because do you know if they were getting
Then we
lucky
drop.
wins, Mario?
Arsenal, then we drop.
But you've got no
100%.
evidence to support that, because their football that
drop
they're
every
playing
year,
is
bro.
better football than what we're doing.
January, February, they
but
go.
it's not consistent.
I'm saying.
They've never been.
And
They've
they
never
will do
shown
this season
wait
as well.
there, they've never shown more consistency than 3 to 4 games. I can guarantee you two are going to be crying about Arsenal soon, because they're a good football team
No,
this
bro,
year. And the fact
I'm
that
not
you
saying
start
they're
clocking
not.
it now, because you're talking about how they're going to drop. So
They-
yeah,
I
you might
think
think
they
they're
will,
decent
though.
because
They
they're top
will.
They
4.
will.
You're just
No, they
hoping they
will.
I
will.
bet you they're in the title race till May. I do. I think
Really?
I think they'll be in the title race till May. I think
Wow. That's a
they
massive
I'd
shout.
like to see them in
it's
the
not
Champions
really, because
League.
they are what we was. They don't have the big luxurious names. Who was the best player in their previous team? Saka came through the academy. Odegaard was a flop at Real Madrid. Like so many players. Granit Xhaka was finished. You know, Thomas Partey, Gabriel
Jesus
Saliba.
wasn't getting
Saliba
played.
weren't going well with
James.
Mikel Arteta. Wait there, Mario. So now that they're in a position where Saliba is proven to be one of the best centre backs on form in the Premier League, Saka's only got better. Gabriel Martinelli will get into our front three, I think, if he's playing week in, week out and whatnot. Like, guys, come on, just treat them with a little bit more respect. They've got a good defence, they've got a great attack, and doesn't that usually win you league titles or get you in the conversation? I
They
think
haven't
it
got
does.
the experience to
Exactly.
see out.
Doesn't
a
matter.
title
We never
race.
had the experience.
No,
when
it
we
does
were there.
matter.
When we won the
It does
league,
matter.
when we
Does
won
matter
the
the
league.
experience.
No, wait there.
Why
When
does
we won the
City win
league,
the
Van
league
Dijk.
every
Wait
year?
there.
'Cause they've done it.
When we'd won the league, Mane had never won it. Van Dijk had never won it. Alisson had never won it. Salah had only won it with Chelsea, but never had a
But we've been
significant
close the year
influence.
before. Arsenal haven't ever
No,
been
no,
close.
no, no, no. This is the first season. No, this is the first season when we competed for the league. Even before we won the league, when we competed, because you're saying Arsenal won't compete. I'm saying they'll be in there till May. They can compete because people thought the exact same thing about us. Oh, Mane's not good enough. He's not a big name player. Or Salah or Firmino or Van Dijk. He's going to be a flop, 75 million. And what happened? A good centre back and a good attack got us in that conversation. Saliba is one of the best centre backs in the league at the moment. Is that something that we can all agree on?
Yeah, right now.
Saka is
after 9
a
games.
talent player, but he hasn't got
No,
experience.
forget about Saka. No, he has
I
got
mean,
experience. He's
as
been
a-
playing in the
as a-
Premier League for 3 to 4 seasons. How's that
James,
not experience?
it's very good team. Definitely, you say they got defensively good young players, but they're not ready to be an English champion
you don't
because
know
they
that.
haven't got experience.
But you don't know
need
that.
to
We
win
never
the
had experience.
James, to win the Premier League in 38 games, you have to have experience. This is
So
the
did
most.
we have experience, Mario?
Yeah, but we had
ha-
experience of
we
going
had
a
experience
point,
from the season
a point
before.
behind, and we went
Man,
again.
No. But that's I'm talking
Do you
about
think
that
Arsenal
season.
can beat City? We
when
had a
we won
comment
the
from
Champions.
Cecil just there. Can Arsenal beat City?
They can beat City.
See,
They can.
I don't think they will beat City. But now that
They
City
can.
is showing more signs of being worse than what they was previously, of course they can. You can take advantage of that the same way we did. Yeah, you've just set me up. The same season where we finished second and got
Well, set
97
them off as
points.
well.
That's what I'm saying I think Arsenal could do. Not 97 points, but finish top 2 at least. However, the next season when they went ahead and won the league, that was off the basis of that season of getting the experience that you're talking about. The only way that experience comes is this season. Last season they finished 5th. Now they've added a few more players to the squad. They're probably going to finish higher, and they're probably going to finish higher because their team is more experienced together.
Can someone else talk now? My
Yeah, a
brain's
couple of
burning
comments
from
to go
James.
through. Big up to.
But no one's disputing my points. I hate the
But
way
let's
I
get
make
into
it.
the
No,
comments.
because I
Let's
hate
get
the way
into
I
the
make a
comments.
point and no one makes a good argument back. It doesn't
I-
create
I-
a good
We've got some
discussion.
good arguments in the comments. Let's get to these.
I agree with you. I've always said that about Arsenal.
Leeds got robbed on Sunday. They were very unlucky to lose that game, I thought. Farteta
But you need
ain't a
that
Klopp,
sometimes. We
says
got lucky
RP.
loads when we won the league.
James is a gooner, says Danny Naz. Big up.
Sad.
Lol, Ruby, your head looks chocker, says
Yes,
Willis.
Willis.
Sweeney.
How are we? That's me, mate.
Come on, G. Big up to Willis
Big
every
up
time.
Willis, man.
Right, we've spoken about City, we've spoken about Arsenal.
And you
Let's
just
move
skipped me
on.
points entirely. He's never said anything to dispute why I was wrong there.
Well, we
Not
did,
one
but you
thing.
spoke over us, bro.
Nah, because you and then
We
again,
tried
you never
to
let me
say
tried
finish.
to say,
And then
but you
he
wouldn't
kept
let.
interrupting, and then
Let's
you
go on
kept
to
interrupting.
let's go on to West Ham because we can all talk
James
about
is
how
so
important
alpha.
we can all talk about how
Bullshit,
important
though, mate.
the
You
game
can't have a
against
discussion.
City was. But now we have to back it up because if we draw against West Ham or lose, we might as well have not have beaten City. We have to carry on
Someone
this
We
said
form.
have to
before.
carry on. Exactly.
And then, of course, we've got Forest away on Saturday, early kickoff. We're going to be at Jurgen's for that, by the way. So if
Are
anyone
we?
wants to watch that with us, yeah, we're going to head
Yeah,
to Jurgen's to
babe.
watch that.
Someone said
West
before,
Ham.
I want to hear Ruby's opinion on fucking West Ham.
West Ham, Scamacca looking decent. Big striker they brought in, Italian geezer. Paquetá looks decent from Lyon. They've actually been playing quite well. Tomorrow night, massive first half an hour, I think, Ruby.
Yeah,
we have to get a goal
100%.
and rattle them early.
I don't know. I don't know if we need necessarily a goal, or whether we're falling back into that thing of we need a goal against us, or we need
To
that
wake us
additional
up.
pressure.
Let's move on from that though, because how many times
Don't
have
tell
we?
me. Tell the fucking players.
I know. It was nice to actually see us go ahead for once.
Yeah, definitely.
If I'm
but
honest, it was
I
late
don't, I
on,
don't
but-
know. What do you think the lineup's going to be? I'm
It's a
interested
great
to know
question.
yours.
It's a great question. Because who do you play Carvalho where Jota was playing in replace of Diaz?
I would.
Why
So
not?
we're
Yeah.
like in our third.
Yeah.
You know, I think Carvalho, if he plays, he's got a score or an assist if you're going to be starting in that position. For me personally, I don't know about you guys. Let's get your opinion as well. Darwin Núñez needs a home goal. This guy hasn't scored at Anfield yet. Literally hasn't scored at Anfield. He's had these chances. I mean,
Are you
again,
now
at
starting to
City.
see a bit more what I've been seeing of Darwin Núñez, by the way?
What, off the bench?
Yeah, like, are you
I said that
agreeing?
anyway.
A bit
You-
more.
I know you did. These
Bit
two,
happier
I don't
with
know
him.
about you. I know you massively disagreed with me. But Darwin Núñez off the bench, is that better than him starting? Maybe not now with Jota injured and Diaz, but I mean, in general, that's the best
At
approach.
the minute,
Tomorrow
at
I'm
the
gonna
minute,
go
yeah.
with Darwin tomorrow.
No, okay, yeah, you can be selective, but in general, he's not your first. He's not in your first starting front
At the
three.
moment,
if
with
you're,
that,
if you're
with that
playing in the Champions
Firmino,
League,
not.
I agree with
if
you.
you're playing in the Champions League final, would you start him?
At the moment,
No.
if you play in the Champions League final with that Firmino, at the moment, I'm gonna go Firmino.
Yeah, I think
agree with
Firmino
you.
just starts
Firmino
him anyway.
starts for me.
Do you think
Firmino is on
Núñez
fire.
or Bobby will start though? Because it's West Ham.
I hope Firmino. I want to see at the moment. I want to see Firmino play every game.
So who's your three tomorrow
Who's your
night?
top?
West
Yeah,
Ham?
who's your top
Jota
three?
is injured, of course. Probably Bobby, Salah, of course, and one between Darwin or
Carvalho.
Carvalho.
It's got to be
Probably
Fabio in
Carvalho.
that position.
I
You
think
know.
it's got to be Fabio. We need that extra pace in there.
Carvalho,
And just know
Salah,
what
and
to
Bobby.
flip and
Do you
do.
start Harvey again tomorrow night? Deserves it, really, after that performance against City.
Yeah. I think he had a boss
Or
game.
do you go 4-2-4 or do you go 4-3-3 again?
4-2-4.
I
Yeah?
liked 4-3-3. Is that what we played against City?
Yeah,
We
well, we had
always-
to change it for City, but we can go back to something a bit more
I liked
expansive
the
now.
formation and stuff we done now. I thought it worked a lot better with not only the pace when we pick it up, but also when we play slow.
Yeah,
We're not like, there's still people in pockets to keep the ball moving type of thing.
like Harvey, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tomorrow is going to be very important, the approaching of the game in the first 30 minutes, I
Yeah.
think. So, for
David
me,
Moyes has never won at Anfield, by the way. Can
West
I just
Ham?
say that?
Never.
No, with Everton, with West Ham, with Man United, he's never won a game at Anfield.
I didn't even
Shout
know
out
he
to
was
you,
still
my
going.
brother. Great record that. Let's try and keep it up. Touchwood, yeah, as you say.
I love James,
Score
you know, he's
predictions?
like my son.
I love James. Oh, there you go. So
Love you too,
outspoken.
Zaz.
Everybody
Big up
loves
to
James.
Chega Gios.
Big
Yeah,
up to
Chega
Chega.
Gios has been putting in some
When are you
fire
back with the milk?
comments.
You bastard.
Simicast to start, surely, says Jonah.
He just need to relax.
Nah, do you know what, lads? It's just because I like discussion and I just didn't think
Bro,
any
I
of
think
you
you're
brought
probably
any good
the Red
points.
Bull before the live.
No, I'm energetic and I've definitely got ADHD. I just don't think any of you brought any good
you
points.
do
any
love-
more Red Bull
You
before.
do
No,
love
I
a
get-
little Red Bull before the
I love Red Bull, mate.
before the
No, it
stream.
gets me going. But I
makes you-
I don't know. I like a
Gets you
discussion. I
going.
didn't think that was a good one.
AGT, thoughts on
words,
City
some
fans.
What?
Thoughts on City fans. They've
Well,
been.
I didn't know that they were doing stuff to do with
They
Hillsborough.
were singing "Murderers" and the
It
sun
was a
right.
selective few before we labelled the whole fan
we
base.
shouldn't say because I've spoken
This
to
is
City
horrible.
fans that were there that weren't singing it. But at the same time, like, how I had this chat on DI yesterday. How do you stop that though, bro?
You don't, because people don't like Scousers. It's just that you'll get a select few from each fan base in each part of the country to where they're not going to like
It's a
Scousers.
stigma
They're going to have a
around the city.
stereotype.
But there's
it's a
not
stigma.
liking Scousers, and then there's mocking dead people, bro.
Yeah, but
That's
still,
like
but they
horrible.
think it's our fault.
Unexcusable.
They think it's our fault. So why
Exactly.
those people are
But
dead?
why,
So
why do they think that? Is that a
because
lack
the
of
narrative that's being
education?
wrote by certain outlets that
But
I'm not
if you
going to mention.
educated yourself to go against that narrative, you might understand.
Education doesn't exist in the present world. It's the same with all
I
situations.
think, Alex, the best thing to stop this stuff is just select the people because everywhere is camera. Select people, give them a ban forever, and that's it.
I just don't like the way City didn't apologise from the
That's it.
minority of fans. I hate it. Like, they were trying to spin different narratives. They were trying to put it on Klopp about
Yeah,
what he
that
said
was-
before the
that
game.
was-
Remember
By
when
the
we
way-
won the
That,
Leicester game
bro.
last season though?
Yeah.
Like, near enough all of the Leicester fans were singing it. And nothing was said
But
about
everyone
that.
Fitting the
does.
scarves or
Or most
something like
people
that.
do. Like, most
remember?
fans who come to the
Not
stadium.
not a lot of fans sing murderers though.
No, but I get called a murderer every day in my DMs.
Yeah,
Every
that's,
single day.
That's,
Like, and that's not
different,
even
but
an exaggeration.
chanting it, I've someone said it to me and I've absolutely kicked off
See,
because
but I
my
don't.
uncle was there and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and it really affected him. And people
Yeah.
don't realise that it wasn't that long ago, and people who are alive now are still affected by it mentally.
Of course.
So like he was one of the people that got lifted up. Like you can't just make it as a passing joke. It's not funny. People
Do you know what,
died,
yeah?
kids died.
These people that think they can sing that song, go in front of the families who lost people and say
Yeah.
that. I bet you won't. And do you know what as well? I said this yesterday as well. Go into a match, and we've been speaking about it as well. It's becoming a little bit nastier. It's going back to what
It's
I
going
think
back
is
to like
the
the
80s.
hooligans and stuff.
You know, and some of these songs, they're so vile. What can we do though? Because technically it's not illegal. You can't charge someone, but you can stamp down on it. And then you self-police it. If we do what you say, right, where someone sings it, they're caught on camera, giving it all this because they've had a drink and whatever else, thinking they're a big man, ban them, and then it self-polices in that stadium. So if someone else sings it, you go, what are you doing? And then it becomes this thing of
That's
like,
what it should be,
it shouldn't
though.
be
It should
sung.
be
And if someone does
camaraderie
sing
or
it,
whatever the hell the name
call them
is.
out, you know? So listen, we're talking about real stuff. This is the Hot Kopics podcast. Big up to Bailey. Facts, Ruby. No mention of it in the media.
I need me rubies.
But this is what I mean, though. We're fighting a losing battle because
Kop TV.
we are the minority, and you know people will just label us as the victims, and that it's never our fault and whatnot, and that's just them being clearly uneducated and not knowing about the circumstances or anything like that. What I don't like is, or what I encourage is, in future, if anyone does see that, the same way if someone was sat next to me singing about
Say
Munich,
something.
I'm going to
100%,
tell
bro.
them
You
to
gotta
fucking
call
shut
them
the
out.
fuck
Exactly.
up,
Call it
because
out.
mate, I don't
Exactly.
care what you like to say. That's a tragic incident. That's happened to people. Forget
Yeah.
football, mate. There's loads of things bigger than
Humans,
football.
bro.
Football's pointless when it comes to conversations like this, and I just don't get like that. That could be you. You're like, that could have been you. That could have been one of your family members, and how would you want it to be treated and respected?
Goosebumps with this
trust.
convo.
Bullshit, mate. I'm just not into the way that City didn't encourage fans to not do this. It's not the way we want to represent the club. And if you are going to do it and represent us in this vein, the same way that like if you have someone working for you or associated with you, you let them go. It's the same way that should be. You should get banned from stadium. Like, listen, I think you should be allowed to say what you want, no matter how right or wrong. I don't think you should get arrested for it. I think free speech should be a thing. But in a stadium like that, where, like you said, you can self-police it and you can regulate it in your own way, they shouldn't be there.
I think a lot of it is, as well, though, is down to how the media portrays just
City
Liverpool
haven't even
as a
said
whole.
sorry for it.
But it's how the
Yeah.
media portrays it.
Yeah.
The media could have easily come out and said something. It might only be in the Echo, but that's only distributed to people within Merseyside. So that doesn't really alter anything that's happened. And obviously, going back to when there was the incident a few weeks ago with the little girl who passed away and things like that, going down to London, the narrative of everything is so different.
Trust me, bro.
It's not even like I've got to reiterate things.
I have to stand up for the city, the people, the team so much when I go to London because I'll overhear stuff in the pub or a conversation, and I think, listen, you guys know what my feeling is towards this city, the club,
Yeah.
the people. I love it more than anywhere else. That's why I'm here. But when I go down there and I hear certain lazy narratives, I have to put people wrong on it. I have to say, hang on, that was wrong, bro. Have you not educated yourself? Have you not read up this? Have you not realized the impact that it's had negatively on thousands and hundreds of people? We're talking about this incident that happened in 1989. Let's not forget, someone killed themselves after Paris because it triggered thoughts of Hillsborough.
Did they?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
This happened, bro. I'm getting goosebumps talking
Literally
about this now. Like it's.
But even that, even the Paris thing.
Like that
come on.
shit.
And again, we still get painted bad to this day about that Paris.
It sounds bad, but we are obviously Munich and things like that, but we are one of the most significant clubs that something like that should never happen to, purely because of past events. Obviously, it should never happen anyway.
No, of course, I get what you're saying.
But to specifically put us in these pens and squat. My mate used to play for Everton and she was there. She broke her ankle and broke 2 ribs.
Andrew Robertson's
because
brother,
she
I
was
think,
that
as well.
big.
Her friends
Paris,
got injured.
She was that big. She is that big. She's just tiny. And she's obviously getting squashed between all these grown-ass men. And this is why my main point when we come back onto here was, obviously that's going to affect the players. This was an hour, 2 hours before the game. People's family were in the fucking crowds. You're going to be getting text, what's going on out here, blah, blah, blah. And then you've got to go out and play 90 minutes.
I knew we were going to lose that final
So
as
did
soon
I.
as I heard all the. And let's not forget as well, let's not try and cover up the fact that it's come out that UEFA had written that excuse the day before the final.
Yeah.
So they already knew that they were going to blame Liverpool fans on the Friday.
Yeah, before we were
when
even
was
there.
it? Was it a Saturday, yeah?
The final was Saturday night, yeah.
Like it boils my blood, man. And when I hear certain things about Liverpool fans, you have to point people out and say, no, you're wrong. You're wrong. Read up and understand why there is. And listen, this is politics. This is decades and decades of.
It needs to be talked about, though.
But it does. It's important. And I don't
If we're
really.
not going to defend ourselves, no one's going to stick up
Exactly,
for
bro.
us.
There's
That's
things
the
to
key
watch though,
thing.
isn't there?
That's
That
the key
ad on
thing.
BBC about the mum who started the whole Justice for the 96. That is such an amazing insight.
Anne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's such an amazing insight into
is.
the lives of people and finding out if your son was there, if he wasn't. The kid wasn't meant to go to the game and then she let him go. And it's a true story. And
Tragic, man.
it's obviously dramatized and things like that. But people have obviously said who are still alive now, that is such an amazing account of what actually happened. So if you don't know, just fucking look something up about it, man.
But it's even before, do you know, after the game when City came out and was saying about Jurgen Klopp's comments
Being
on how they can
xenophobic.
just spend more than xenophobic. What does xenophobic mean, by the way?
I mean, that is the most.
What does it mean
rubbish,
before question on that? What?
Racist to the different nation.
So hang on a
It's
minute, hang on a minute. So
do
you're
with that,
saying
though?
because they've got loads of money, which is factual,
Yeah.
that he's somehow again, I want to know exactly what the term means before, but if
What's
it's
the
to do
actual
with religion,
definition,
isn't it?
Jacob?
Oh, it's not just Asian people, my bad. It's just anybody from any other country.
anybody from, okay, so it's basically racism. Dislike or prejudice against people from other countries. Okay, so how is confirming that they've got a lot of money and that they
Similar to
can spend
racism.
more than Liverpool? How does that align with that? Tell me where that has anything to do with where they're
That
from or
annoys me
anything to
more
do with
than
the money.
anything, that the fact that they've.
Someone said that before, that
Yeah.
they've had the
They
cheek to
tried
come out
to
and
blame
call them
Klopp.
So
xenophobic.
cheeky.
So yeah, you'll come out and be fuming because someone's called you out because you can spend more than everyone else, but you won't come out and apologise for, again, the minority of City fans who came out and made significant amount of noise at Anfield singing about Hillsborough. So you're going to be fuming because someone's questioning your approach to the game, which, by the way, is very, very seedy. And I think City maximise all the money they've got. I think they've built the best youth academies. I think the way they run 12 different clubs and can just grab players from there, from a footballing standpoint, it's so self-sustainable. It's really, really good. But don't all owners are seedy bastards. So stop trying to come out.
There's no clean money anywhere, bro.
So the
Every
fact that City
billionaire
fans
doesn't have clean
this is
money.
what I don't get about a select few City fans as well. It's not just the money. Just own the fact you've got money. You're doing the Man United have got money and they're not doing much with it. You're doing well with the money you've got, but just admit your owners are seedy bastards the same way everyone else is. Yours is just on a bigger level. They've definitely got shit that they probably should have got clocked for in the past. There's things that have been overturned because Manchester City decided to buy 50 lawyers and get them to solve the cases for them. But in the main, you've got money. Don't be hiding away from it. Embrace it. If anything I say, just use it as we have got money. And that's why we're winning loads of Premier Leagues in your face. Don't be coming out neglecting one of the main things about a minority of your fan base and talking about and trying to label Klopp as xenophobic. You absolute fools, because there's nothing that he's actually said in quotation marks that you can find me that relates to being xenophobic, just because he's confirmed the fact that you're fucking rich. That's all. be skint, you know what I mean? If
I
that's
agree.
the case.
Do you know what? They could sing titles about beating us by 1 point to the league. They could sing songs about doing
They can
all
tell
this.
us for so much shit.
For so many
They've
things.
got so many things they
Which
can
is
laugh
fair,
at us
of course.
about.
Get a song, get a new song.
But
do
you're
you know
getting
what I mean?
triggered at facts.
Yeah.
So, like, it's fine to be like, oh, we're better than you. You're right, you are better than us. And forget about the reasons. Like, yeah, it is the money. And then be fucking buzzing and flying
be
with that.
buzzing.
But you don't need to go any further and fucking not call out the fans who were singing shit about Hillsborough. You knobheads. But again, that's a select few
One
City
thing
fans.
I wanted to say was massive respect and shout out to the Red Men TV. Just hit 500. I just burped, so it's quite disrespectful actually. So I'll say it again. Big shout out and big respect to the Red Men TV.
Big
just
up
hit
to Red Men
500,000
TV, lad.
subscribers.
Big up, 500,000.
Just hit 500,000
Big up to Red
on
Men
YouTube.
TV.
And I saw Paul jumped in with
Yeah.
you and Tammy.
Belter, lads, belter. It's like, it's
give
proper
you a
cool
kiss.
whenever Paul jumps on camera because
He does that quite a lot when he's running
he
past.
does, lad.
It's
No,
normally you with the mic. He sees.
But you know
isn't it?
what though, lads? The one thing about Paul is that I've always maintained a decent relationship with him and Chris. I don't
Yeah.
work with them anymore, but I still see them at the games. Me and you saw Paul that one time, if
Yeah,
you
yeah,
remember,
yeah, yeah.
and a kid came up and asked for a photo with me, and then he saw Paul and he was like, "Well, can I have a photo with
And then
you
he
as
said
well?"
to me, "Can you take it?"
But what's sick about Paul is that this thing that I've now got into wouldn't have happened without that interview, and it was mad that he was there on the other end of that.
He's proud
and
of
it's
you,
led to
bro.
what it's
I'm
into
sure
now.
he is. Like,
No,
I've
defo.
spoken to him about you as
He
well.
loves what we do. He
Yeah.
loves what we do.
And I respect it, man. You have to tip your hat sometimes to the...
I always
the
say
people
they're
that
the
do
reason
really
why this
well.
fan cam scene became what it was, because AFTV elevated it, but Redmen were the first ever fan channel, which is very mad when you think about it, that a Liverpool
true.
They
fan
They
channel
opened their own
started
channel in
this.
2010, 12 years ago.
That's why
So-
Paul and Robbie are still so close now. And
Yeah.
they'll always work together because they have that massive level of respect for each other as well.
The
So
OGs of the
I'm
game,
really
mate.
happy about that. Quick word, Ruby, on Forest on Saturday. We went there in the FA Cup last year. It was difficult. Jota scored the goal that took us through to the semis, I believe.
No.
They're bottom of the
quarters.
table. Oh, it was the quarters, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They're bottom of the table.
Who's this?
Forest on Saturday
dear.
away.
5
24 different players that they bought in the summer. I mean, if we can't be, with all due respect, we haven't won an away game yet this season. If we can't be,
They started
beating
quite strong
Forest,
though,
they
didn't they?
but if we have to win that game.
Yeah, 100%. We have to. I think obviously it's easier said than done to be like, obviously the ball can start rolling again, blah de blah. But like, obviously we won the Rangers game, we lost Arsenal, we've won City. So now we have just got to push on and just like you said, being like believe, but not like
Consistent.
delusional.
Yeah.
Have to be
And,
consistent. This is-
West Ham and Forest are two teams that are significantly,
Yeah. No, we should be beating them.
Obviously,
should be beating them both.
we're still playing them. They're still in our league and things like that. And the form that we've been in, we haven't been playing great, so we could lose. But it's Liverpool. Like, we should be beating teams like that. Is my point.
Facts, and anything less than 6 points out of our next two games is
Yeah.
is
Worrying.
terrible. Yeah, very worrying.
Because we're still in such a massive month, October. There's still Champions League games to come. Ajax next week.
Didn't you say
as well.
we've got like
We need just 1
15
point.
games?
10 in
for
30
the qualification,
days. Yeah.
so just
Yeah.
1 point.
Yeah, we
in
could
2
do with
games.
a point next week. But listen, guys, it's been
Emotional.
an important show, I think. It's important
It has.
that
It's
we
been a
speak
good
about
one.
these things as well because, listen, we can all laugh and joke and have banter, which we still will in every episode. But when you've got people like James, Ruby, people from the city, and mine and Mario's standpoint on it as well.
I was going to say as well,
man.
your family's from the city. You have just as much right to speak on these political side of things as anyone else because it's impacted your bloodline. And that's the one thing that I think we just all need to encourage is togetherness and working together through these times. Because like I said before, if we're not going to stand up for ourselves and our culture and what we believe in, no one else is going to do it.
Oh, yeah. I feel emotional about it. Let's end on a positive. Ruby's adorable. Says over floater.
By the way,
floater?
I know it's over now, but it's been passed. But massive happy birthday to our Ruby
Yes.
Barb as well. Come on, man. Come on.
How was your
Everyone
birthday?
sends her the
It
wishes.
was
You looked
boss.
amazing, by the way, I have
Oh,
to say.
thank you. Yeah,
Don't be shy, Ruby.
Jane.
I get
Oh,
so
tell
shy.
me about it. My Jane. It's our saying I'm good
Mario, I
looking.
do
Got it
get
after
very
you.
shy. You wouldn't think that being on camera's for my job. No, I had a boss birthday. Like it was boss. I had a surprise party and things like that, which was amazing because birthdays and stuff like that, my anxiety takes over, and I always think, oh, I'm never doing anything because people won't come.
Yay! Happy birthday, Ruby. Says 6 times UCL winners. Happy birthday, says Channing.
You want me to open it on this?
Over floater is a bit of a mad name still, but
Just let you know as well. I'm gonna get you like another proper physical present. This was just
you
last
didn't
minute.
have to give me money.
Nah, lads, because I didn't know what to get you for
You read
30
out.
minutes.
To rhubarb, have a belter. Hope you got bevied. Lots of love, hammers.
Can we show the card as well? How beautiful it is. This is the first time I've ever seen
It's
your
too
handwriting.
exposed. You can't see it.
That's the handwriting. Show the other side, like the front of it as well. It's just like a nice little happy
Birthday
birthday stand.
gift.
Because all of them there was like, to a very special someone. I was like, me and Ruby are proper close, you know what I
Can
mean?
I
Like,
tell you
we're
something? The message is very nice, but your writing is horrible, bro. It looks like a 6-year-old fella. I'm joking.
6-year-old fella. Wow. Hey, listen,
anyway,
for the
I
cups,
don't
for the cups.
again, Ruby. Shot again.
That's like my dad.
I was right.
Jacob,
That is
haven't we
like my
got to
dad's.
like stop now?
When I was 7, I was writing like that. When I was 7.
To be fair, mine's awful as well. But a massive shout out to Flux for looking after us. We've got the new quarter zip
How the
on.
fuck did you
The
get the
closest
card in?
colour you can get to Liverpool, so make sure you go and get it. In Luca Menswear, Dirty Kids as well in L1. Massive shout out to Mario, my brother. I'll see you tomorrow at Anfield. James, a
Tomorrow.
massive shout out to you for talking about the hard-hitting stuff today. And Ruby, happy belated birthday.
My
You
dear.
know we all love you. Everyone loves you.
I'm off to London now.
Are you going to London today?
Right, like, I'm going home. I'm going straight to London.
Fair play. What for?
I've got a
Busy
another
shit,
thing
man.
for EA.
Oh, sick. Right then, Jacob, thank you so much.
Thank you, Jacob.
Ready to play
Thank
us
you,
out.
Jacob.
Love you
We
all
will
in
see
the
you
chat.
next time. Much love to everyone. We'll see you outside Anfield tomorrow night. Big up.
Bye.
You never walk alone. Remember, I love Liverpool. We all love Liverpool. Support the city. Support the people.
Justice for the 97.
Always. And always believe.
Always believe. There you
Not
go.
like James.
Thanks for watching
Take
the
care.
video, guys. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stands, for a lot more Liverpool content.
Remember to check out our Shopify store for this beauty and much more. It's the new Luchito's Way Diaz t-shirt based on Luis Diaz and Carlito's Way. It's out now, designed by Ruby.
And there's going to be so many more.
There is. Make sure you're involved. Go and buy this now and use the Kop TV 15 for a little discount if you want.